The next day, Delphi wanders out of the woods with her morning's quarry pressed up against her back. Along a long stick are some local birds that she managed to hunt, a fresh breakfast for her visitors. She strides out, an attempted whistle on her lips that comes out as a fat However, she's cheery. She wanders into the clearing that she frequently lets her sheep wander about, and spots a man actually standing beneath the tree, trying to keep the sun out of his eyes. Oh, hey, hi, can I help you?
Oh, yeah, actually you can.
Yeah, with what? She attempts, she cheers up.
I was told by the little green miss that you're the one in charge around here.
Yeah, that's me. She unslings the stick from her back and places it off the ground, dusts her hands off, and then goes for a very awkward handshake.
He shakes her hand back. He's got a very firm grip, maybe a tiny bit too firm, but you know. You had a busy morning or what out there in the woods?
Yeah, busy morning, busy yesterday,
there you go.
I help you?
Yeah, that's what I'm here to talk to you about. I needed, something done yesterday. I needed something delivered, and there was no one around this whole place to help me out with that.
Ooh.
I was told I was supposed to come to someone if I needed something taken and delivered, but...
Right, I'm sorry, I was busy yesterday, but, I'm here today. Do you have it? Can I go? Do you need me to sign for it? She
yes.
Okay. Right. Okay, good. Come with me.
Actually, it's not gonna be here for a few hours, probably not till, like, middle of the day, afternoon, but I'd appreciate it if you could, you know, be around when that happens, so it's not the same problem as last time.
Gotcha, yeah. Yeah, can do. For a second her expression falls, and then she seems to regain some of her energy. She smiles, picks up her collection of pheasants off the ground, and says, "Yeah, okay. I'll be around. Just come into the restaurant later. Thanks."
Alright.
Scoots off. Meanwhile, back in the restaurant, everyone else has slept in to a hearty 10 a.m. You guys stayed up way later than you probably should have, but weirdly enough, you feel energized. You've had a decent enough breakfast, and that appears to not be ending anytime soon as Levin repeatedly passes by, drops off a new tray of baked goods, and then departs.
I think he's paying you back for your models and bread.
Oh, man, this is really... I didn't expect this. Apparently, if you put all the things together to make bread and heat it until it is bread, and then let it cool, and then heat it a second time, it undergoes an entirely different reaction and becomes this. He holds up a slice of toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crunchier. And then it gets really crunchy if you burn it again.
Mm-hmm. You can do that with a couple other different options.
We are totally sitting in the least optimal way possible. She scrunkles under the table over here. You never want to talk at a table booth with all of your main talkers on the same side.
Sprout was arranged in a format that reminded you of a, sort of... I bet you're wondering why I called you here. His tiny little stubs were folded in front of him.
This is where Sprout fell asleep. This is his bench.
Selena's still trying to think, what are we going to do about this goddamn crab?
What do you mean, what are you gonna do with it? It's
We
here!
can't bring it all the way back. Selena doesn't have the heart to stop him, though.
So are you guys heading out today? What's the plan?
Yeah, probably. Pretty soon. Probably, finish up breakfast. And then hit the road.
I guess I didn't even really think about it. I mean, when I was walking through the woods the other day, I guess I was mostly just looking for civilization, 'cause that's where money is, and that's what I need right now. So I guess I was gonna go to a town, and see what I could do for people.
Atticus,
She like perks up a little.
do you want to come to Bluebell with me?
Oh, wow. I've heard a lot about Bluebell, and some of it's not good, but most of it sounds really, really fascinating.
I think you get a kick out of it. There's a lot of money, and it's tall.
It is. You can see it even from out in the wastes.
You hear the door slowly creak open as somebody walks in behind you with this, like, long, almost fishing pole covered in birds.
Delphi!
She kind of
Delphi.
wanders in and freezes.
Delphi, they're gonna poop on the floor.
I mean, they're dead.
Delphi, did you wake up early in the morning and go hunting with a broken arm?
That's right, my arm is still broken.
Delphi!
Oh my god, please
Velvet
sit
is
down.
Flailing behind Sprout.
She kinda walks over with the birds, dumps them, walks over and like sort of plops down next to Sprout.
I'm not used to staying up as late as we did last night. That was really fun. My dad would have put me to bed a long time before that.
I am sorry.
No, it's good. When you get older, that's when you get to start staying up. So it's been a long time coming, but it's due.
I feel like we're being bad influences, but it was pretty cool to stay. Like, it's been a while since I've stayed up that late too.
I'll have plenty of time to be a good influence. Atticus and I are going to Bluebell.
She looks really, really excited and is bouncing a little bit.
Oh, that's nice. All right, yeah, no, I bet you guys are headed out.
Pretty soon. I'm still supposed to do your checkup now that your arm's probably rebroken again.
She sort of chews on her lip. Yeah, that would be nice. Could we go see Madigo, do you think?
Yeah, I should definitely do. I didn't actually do any kind of thorough examination on them, because when we got back, I figured it was late enough that we were all gonna hit the hay. But no, we just stayed up and up and up. So it was a bad call on my end.
That is completely acceptable. Yeah, let's head over.
She scrungles around Sprout.
Where are you gonna go, Sprout?
Sprout puts a stub up to his mouth, ? And then writes down, Celine.
Yes? You need a little lift? Come here.
Walk outside and you see Glamier and Arvest sitting together.
Velvet kind of nods a little awkwardly at Glamier.
He gives a little wave. Jillian is plucking the feathers off the pheasants.
Are you going back to Snowdrop, Arvest?
I mean, yeah, probably. I've got to drop off what I got in Bluebell first, but afterwards, yeah. No, that's the plan. I'm gonna head back up and see how much I earned. Maybe, honestly, I was hoping that this would be sort of a big score. RNA is buying health potions en masse at an frankly unreasonable price. Hoping to kind of start my own business up there, but we'll see. If Velvet's contacts are more deserving of my potions, then I'll probably go with them and just cut my losses. Kind of scratches the back of his neck.
Well, that sounds great. My dad always says the first step to success as a small business owner is a can-do attitude.
You young people are so ambitious!
Yeah, I got a family to support. Arvest looks down at the fountain.
I have 8 kids.
I'm like 16, but in rock person years, that's 85.
No, he like waves his hand around. Okay. I'm the son of one of the hunters up in Snowdrop, and Mom and Dad can't really work anymore, so yeah, it's on me.
That's how it is sometimes.
He like stares straight ahead for a few seconds.
Glamir pats him on the back. You're doing good.
Thanks.
Well,
I needed that.
Velvet and I were gonna maybe go to Bluebell after this, so if you do end up coming back there, look us up.
Oh, yeah, maybe we could...
The big book of Bluebell, I guess.
Hard cut to yellow pages of dumpsters. Where does Velvet live?
He like looks over at Atticus. Yeah, maybe we could, if you're walking, maybe we could travel some of the way together. Roads are safer in groups.
Oh, that'd be really cool. And I can talk to you about machines, and you can talk to me about alchemy.
Yeah, I'd like that. I'm gonna say right now, if you spend that amount of time, if you deliver on this promise, you can actually pull the alchemist class from Arvest. He can teach you what he knows about alchemy, and in exchange, you'll teach him what you know of machine craft.
I will add his power to my own.
Yeah, that.
My dad always said the second step to being a small business owner was to absorb.
Celine kind of bumbles back over with Sprout, hearing Arvest talk about Snowdrop. Once you're back in Snowdrop, it sounds like you've been having some troubles. Feel free to hit me up. And
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not entirely sure what I could do to help, but I know someone that probably could. So.
Gotcha. Thanks. He's not 100% sure what to make of it, but he trusts you well enough. He kind of like smiles and nods. He looked almost melancholic a few seconds ago, but now he seems to have perked up.
All right. Sorry, we got to go though, real quick.
Waves.
Velvet raps on the door.
Madigo, we're coming in.
Oh no, they're sick.
They're in the tub.
Are they clothed? Is that where
Yes.
they sleep? Okay.
Sometimes. Madigo, how you feeling? Okay. I think that's better than usual.
Madigo, is it alright if I do a follow-up checkup? We went into the woods and killed a big spider that had a ghost vendetta, and that might have made you better. You genuinely never know with magic.
I don't think we killed that. Celine thinks. I don't think we killed that spider.
We defeated it in spirit. And then we met a spirit. What a day. What a long day.
Yeah, yesterday was busy.
Madigo kind of looks between all these different people, like, talking and making comments that they're supposed to keep up with, and they just kind of slowly nod.
Alright, I do a cursory checkup on Madigo.
Considering your experiences recently, and considering what you know about them, what you know about magic items now, and like everything you've learned over the course of the last day, you can tell what's surrounding Madigo is it's almost like it's still hanging there, but it's an aura tied to not one magic item, but many. You don't know what they've been through, but it's clear enough that this almost miasma, this funk that's hanging around them is pretty attached to their being. What you did yesterday was like peeling one layer of an onion, and they do appear to be doing a bit better, actually, as a result of it. Your diagnosis is pretty simple. While you don't think you necessarily have the means to just make them better, keeping them away from magic items seems to be the first, biggest, and easiest step that one could take. And based on the size and shape of the aura that you perceive, it would be more a matter of time at that point, rather than any action being taken.
Okay. I relay all that to Delphi, seeing her as Madigo's caretaker. Been a very good patient, Madigo. Here,
She reaches into her enormous doctor sack, into a pocket you haven't seen her ruffle through before.
Oh no!
She pulls out a handful of lollipops that are all shattered.
Oh, we did get in a fight with a robot. Here, I'll give you 2 or 3.
Kind of figured Velvet had rock candy.
At that diagnosis, Delphi gets a really difficult expression on her face. Okay, first of all, thank you so much. You did exactly as I asked, and I think I need to pay you now.
No.
What?
No, I don't tell my other clients this. I don't take money unless I don't like you.
That is a good business.
I generally don't need a lot of money because I don't have an office to upkeep and I don't have any assistants and I don't usually need to refuel any medicine. I don't need to refill any medicine because I do a lot of walking and I managed to pick up most of the stuff on my own.
Okay. Well, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I've got less money than you might expect, so that is appreciated.
Velvet, still in the mood of I keep saying mean things by accident, just barely manages to keep herself from going, oh, that's not surprising.
She's like, Delphi's clearly turning over something in her head, and she kind of stops. I don't know if I could keep Madigo away from magic items. Like, I don't know if I've got the time.
What if you bought Madigo a bunch of regular paint?
We've sort of tried.
And they don't seem to like him very much?
Not the biggest fan.
Madigo points up to the ceiling. There are giant splatters just on the ceiling.
Oh, wow, beautiful.
That's
I like it.
That's something for me to think about. It's fine. She Delphi starts to walk away. Okay, so that should be, oh right, my checkup. Yeah, if you could take a look. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, do you want us to do this in private? I just noticed this turned into like a group checkup, weirdly.
You guys are fine. That's okay. I guess we could do it over in the restaurant?
Sure.
I also don't want to hold you up if you guys, like, need to leave.
I don't think we have anywhere to be.
Celine, you're reminded of the note that was in your pocket that just said lay low. That hasn't changed. You're not sure what your next orders are, and that's almost worrying in itself. You're certainly getting restless, but yeah, no new orders. It's weird.
Celine looks down at Sprout. We might need to head out a little sooner than planned. But, that doesn't mean Firefly is going to be gone just yet.
Velvet is taking the opportunity walking in and out of houses to be like, ooh, and every time she's about to walk out, she opens her parasol and begins skipping with it.
Oh, that makes Celine smile. She's very happy about that.
Close.
Sprout still has the blackened lime. Just looks like it's just staring at it. It's very hard to tell exactly what Sprout's facial expression is since it doesn't change.
Yeah, fair.
Here, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna drop off Sprout with you for a little bit. I gotta go get some of our luggage from the room, get that all situated, make sure that we're fully loaded and raring to go for the road.
Okay, yeah. Delphi's like, she's like a little, there's something up. She slowly exhales. Okay, I've been meaning to ask about this in particular, but, okay. she sort of, like, takes her sweater off, like, puts it down on the table, takes off the expensive hat. She's got, like, I don't know, some fucking, like, camisole thing under it that has a cartoon drawing of a cow on it and the letters under it that read "stink" in large characters.
God damn it,
She,
How could you do this?
Literally the least fitting character to give this to.
Yeah. She takes her arm out of the brace and throws it down on the table next to her, and she goes, "Okay, this is a little embarrassing, but I guess," she exhales and almost like along her arm. It's almost disgusting, and if you weren't used to seeing mages, you'd be more off-put. A line begins to form and trace its way from her shoulder to her fingertips as her arm actually, like, loses mass, it seems, and, like, scars begin to sort of perk up and, like, bits of flesh become sort of discolored, and she slowly extends her arm and sort of, like, opens and closes it a bit. Like I said, I specialize in transmutation. My physiology's kind of changed so that it operates under the assumption that I am always enhancing my strength. So, if I'm not, it tends to revert to this. It's not good looking, but that's probably not the issue here. I couldn't exactly fix my arm or let you fix it yesterday because, like, you were fixing something that was also being infused with magic and trying to reinforce itself. It won't work unless you do it like this, but it'll fix fast. So if you could help me out, I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, okay. Absolutely. I was gonna ask what you wanted from this visit, because that's my credo, is that's the first thing you're supposed to ask, so you have a goal, but got right to it. All right.
She kind of like lays your arm out. So basically when she's not buffing herself, it reverts to a skinny curse arm.
It's skinnier than you'd expect. And you can see a lot of scarring all up and down it. None that stood out to you just a minute or two ago. It's almost as if the enhancement covers up whatever cosmetic damage there is at the time.
Oh boy. Okay, yeah, no, I'll definitely go over and treat this as much as I can.
She begins thumbing through her bag.
Doubly, not that you've been taking this advice up to this point, but if you have an injury on one of your arms, you should not exacerbate it by doing the thing that gave you the injury.
She smiles at you. I'm aware. Believe it or not, one of the advantages to sort of working like this is I do heal really fast. The disadvantage is when I'm pumping magic into my limbs, I don't really feel pain or many other sensations, so it gets surprisingly easy to forget.
Not even happiness?
What?
She's like in the middle of massaging pressure points on your arm. Looks up and says that.
Delphi, like, smiles and blinks.
That's
no,
not a joke. It's entirely possible.
No, I still feel emotions and happiness.
Okay, I have to check.
You prod and poke for a bit, and it's clear, like, her bone structure is different. And, like, where you expect to feel muscles, it seems like she has something under her skin that's more akin to, like, string or piano wire. Like, you've dealt with mages before. You know what this is like. But, yeah, this wasn't the exact fluff that you were expecting. Given time, you managed to trace the break, which you quickly discover isn't exactly a break at all. It appears to be a section of her arm where that string that you're feeling through the surface feels almost entwined or tied up.
Oof.
Oh, okay. Here is the problem spot.
Is it like noticeably discolored or anything so I can point to it? Okay.
Here, I thought you were just fluff, but you are fluff and tough. All right, we're gonna have to untangle your strings. I'm gonna call them muscles.
Thank you. Let's, yeah, how...
Okay. So, Sprout, can you be my nurse?
Sprout spins its mask around, and then spins it back, writes something on the board, and there's a whole bunch of other writing about needle and thread, and it just says, I can help soon.
Okay. Sprout is
you know
busy.
what, Sprout?
What-
I'll take care of this stuff. You go and help them out.
To get a better visual, when you say Sprout turns its mask around, do you mean Sprout's body turns or the mask just
The mask.
pivots
The mask
around the
slides
body?
around its body.
All right, just making sure. That takes Velvet back, or like she's taken aback a little bit by that.
Okay, that's fine. It's just quick.
She leans. I assume there's a sink here somewhere.
I just needed some hot water.
She
Okay, I'll go get those. I'll get that stuff for you.
Okay. So we're gonna put some water in a basin. It's gonna be warm. And then you're gonna sink your arm into it, which will relax it. And then I am going to pour some of, excuse me,
She goes through the bag, pulls out some powder.
some of this into it so you can't see it.
She pours a powder into the water when, like, I assume, it'll come back and it'll be there. She pours this packet of what looks like a Kool-Aid flavoring into the water, and it turns like milky white.
That's got some nutrients and stuff in it, but it's mostly because it kind of looks unpleasant when you see the thing move around under your skin. Probably shouldn't have told you that. Don't think about it.
No, it's okay. It's weird, but, like, my magic sort of works with reinforcement already of body parts, so I'm used to all of the gross workings. Offers a half-hearted smile.
I bet you're not used to all of them, let me tell you. Thank you, Sprout.
And just for flavor, she plucks a petal or two off of these flowers and has them float in there so it looks like a spa treatment.
All right, now, I already tried this trick on you, so you probably know what I'm about to do. But can you tell me a quick little story about your adventuring days? Just to get your brain go. Yeah, just go ahead. I'm very curious. I am outside of this, but go on.
Okay. Well, I left home when I was pretty young. Said goodbye to my moms. I went over to, oh man, have you ever been to the area surrounding where they call it the Greater Angel's Trumpet area? It's where Angel's Trumpet used to be. And I joined up with a group of adventurers, named the, I assume she's waiting for it to happen, trying to tell her story and occasionally looking over at Velvet.
Every time her head starts looking down at the basin, Velvet makes like a little like a no kind of noise. Delphi, you're expecting like some kind of weird
a snap
or a masseuse thing, but right now what you're feeling is some kind of strange probing prickliness, and you have no idea what it is.
Oh, that feels.
It's just the water.
Good water. Good. Okay. She exhales. I joined a group of adventurers named The Last Resort. They used to be a big deal, years and years ago, but ever since the HQ vanished, all of the branches mostly just turned into doing whatever folks needed doing. So my branch was mostly deliveries, hedge clipping. I was the delivery girl. I had to run things between, God, I had to run everywhere. I had to run to Bluebell. I think that's why I'm so fast.
At that moment when she does like God, I had to run everywhere. She is like just for a split second inside her own head. So Velvet pushes pressure onto both of the strings so that they're like, she basically presses them near the spot so they both become taut on one side that's not tangled and looser on the tangled side, and then does like a 1, 2, 3 press and snaps them back into place. It feels like really bad for 3 seconds and then really good.
Delphi lets out a yipe and then just relaxes in the chair.
Oh, okay. She raises your arm out of the water and starts drying it off on a towel. Keep going.
Oh, are you sure? Okay.
This is part of the treatment.
Velvet is mostly sitting down like, hello, mostly just interested in hearing your story. She starts wrapping your arm up and like disinfecting it.
Delphi starts opening and closing her hand. It appears that and Velvet, you watch as you can clearly tell she's testing it with her own magic as little crackles begin to run along it and her hair sort of stands on end. And she starts to move her fingers and they're still robotic like they were before, but you can tell whatever was causing the problem, you actually more or less solved already. She lets out a tiny wow. Anyway, right, where was I?
Really, really, really briefly, which is like, oh wow, my fingers. Just as Velvet's wiping it off, you notice 1 or 2 little beads of blood near your hand, or near the spot that got pressed. And she's like, why are those there? What did that?
Yeah. Ow.
But then it's wiped away, and it's like, maybe nothing.
She continues. Odd jobs, agencies don't make money unless they find a niche, and ours, unfortunately, didn't exactly do that. The people there sort of became my, new family, friends that I thought I'd spend my life with, sort of, but,
When you said, when Delphi says, my new family, Velvet, tiny little smile, but, frown.
We went our separate ways. Some of us went down to Indigo to work with the university down there. Others went to Bluebell. Oh, you might know them, actually. Others went to Bluebell, and me, oh my god. She looks tired, and she actually, braces her head in her now newly functional arm. I was sort of a hellraiser back then. I had nothing in my mind other than adventure and glory and romance and all that fun stuff. So I decided that I would go to the nearest branch, the nearest resort, which was down in Falcata. I spent a few years abroad. I built a decent enough name for myself, I think.
Did you have a cool nickname?
Yeah.
Tell them it's really good.
Okay.
Pain Train.
My nickname was, she looks down and kind of pulls her hat down. They used to call me Cloud Crusher.
Oh my gosh, okay.
It's a little embarrassing saying it now, because I could not crush clouds as I am, and I always trip over my words when I say it. It was, those were good enough times. I traveled with a group down there for a while, and, then I kinda wound up back here. That last bit, she stops dead in the middle of recounting and then just skips to the present. You can tell that there's a giant gap of time missing in her tale. For a second, you see her aura sort of flick from that, it's almost like she walked into the room with, it was heavy, but still that same, fluffy, cloudy, and it spiked out almost like a porcupine for half of a second.
Jillian kind of looks over at Delphi.
Hey.
Yeah?
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're good.
Thank you. She kind of smiles. Yeah, so, that's more or less what happened. I could tell you more if you want.
Big eyes.
It's not a good story, if that affects things. It's weird. Her aura almost shifts to, like, it's strange for a moment. It shifts to, like, almost that of a serene pond. She almost seems more even-tempered about this. It's uncharacteristic based on what you know of her already.
I don't know if this makes sense, but while I normally like happy or interesting stories, I also like hearing people's more problematic ones, or darker ones, or sadder ones, especially if they're aware of themselves enough to realize that's what it is, because it's like getting a full picture of somebody. And if I don't get that, it feels like drinking a drink, and then you leave about 25% of it at the bottom, but you're still thirsty.